Hey, it's Amber from The Training Tool. I wanted to share with you a little piece of my yoga flow that I did for my students the other day. And I'm just going to show you a little part of it. So of course you would do this after you did a sufficient warm-up to make sure that your body and your spine is ready to get into these poses. It's nice and simple, many beginner poses, and some of my class favorites, which always includes pigeon pose. So we are going to get on our mat, and after your warm-up, you could be in your table pose, spreading those fingertips wide, knees right beneath the hips. We're going to tuck those toes and gently come up into our downward facing dog. As you go into downward facing dog, I want you to relax your shoulders, drop your head between your arms, encourage your hips up, and encourage your heels to move towards the ground. If you need to do a little pedal here, you just kind of stretch those legs out a little bit more, feel free to. Then move into that balanced position where you're balancing your weight between all 10 of your toes and all 10 of your fingers. We're going to, with intention, walk our feet towards our hands, soften the knees, and allow the head, neck, and shoulders to just drop down. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to bring those hands behind the calves, draw into a bent knee fold, and then I want you to slide those hands down, lift the hips, and come up into your monkey. So feel as if your hips are being pulled back and your head is being drawn in the opposite direction. As you take that breath in monkey, exhale. Come all the way back down. Soften your knees if you need to. And we're going to walk those hands forward and step those feet back to find your plank pose. Feel free to put your knees down in plank if you need to. A nice deep breath here, and we're going to shift forward and move into that upward facing dog, going to where you feel comfortable through your spine. Dropping we're going to lift those hips, push back, and find your child's pose. Take a breath. Keep the arms overhead and encourage your forehead to come to the mat. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. Listen to your body. As you breathe in, shift your weight. Come right back to that plank pose. It is strong. You're using your core. You're pulling that belly button in. Your glutes are tight and your knees are lifted. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. Inhale, shift up into down dog. Adjust the hands and the feet if needed. Exhale, go a little deeper into the pose if you have that there. Take a breath, look forward. Bring that right knee towards the right hand and move into your pigeon pose. If you need to use blocks here to elongate, feel free. Pressing that back leg into the mat, relax those shoulders down the back. Take a breath. As you exhale, place the hands back, tuck the toes, and press into your downward facing dog, starting back over from the beginning. With intention, walk your feet towards your hand. Feel that placement of your feet, and then balance your body here, right in the center of the feet. Exhale, draw the chest towards the thighs as you lift those hips up into folding. Inhale, soften the knees if you need to. Move it right up into that flat back monkey pose. Pushing those hips back, reaching the head out in the opposite direction. Inhale. Exhale, come back down, soften the knees if needed, and walk those hands forward as you step back 1 foot at a time. Jump if you're advanced into your plank pose. Use the strength of your body here. Pull in the core, line up your hips and shoulders. Inhale, tops of the feet onto the mat. Exhale, lift into your version of upward facing dog that feels good to you. Elongating through the spine, not crunching the vertebrae. We drop those knees, sit back, child's pose. Keep the hands overhead, gentle pressure through the hands, and gently bring that forehead towards the mat, resting if you can. Take a breath. As you exhale, return to your strong plank pose. Knees down if needed. Breathe it in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Move the hands and feet if you need to readjust. As you breathe here and stretch through the back of those legs, lifting those hips, look forward and draw your left knee to your left hand, finding that pigeon pose. encouraging the back leg to press into the mat, staying square through the hips, not rolling over onto the side. Keep that glute off the mat. Feel your head reaching up towards the sky. Encourage those shoulders to come back. This is where blocks can help you if you're feeling a little rounded and crunched in the front. Now tuck the toes, take a breath, return to downward facing dog. Inhale. As you exhale, encourage length through the backs of the legs. Inhale with intention, walk it in. Soften the knees. If you don't have any issues rolling up through your spine, please do so. If you need to stay flat backed, you're going to lift up and come up. If you can roll through the spine without damage, you can do that. Draw those arms up nice and tall. Exhale those prayer hands to the center of the chest. And then release it down. So that was just a little piece of my class I taught the other day. If you're in the Ocala area, come join us at the studio in downtown Ocala. We'd love to have you. If you're not here, you can always join me on my Superior membership on my website. That way you can get all of my yoga workouts as well as my other workouts where we sweat, get fit and toned right in the comfort of our own house.